e-bikers are running out of battery. Oh, wow, what a downhill. Welcome to today's ride, and today we're cycling from lovely cloudy Penzance to Land's End, and then we're going to camp there. We're near enough there. Hopefully the weather improves somewhat. There comes our bikes. Alright, let's get these bikes ready and loaded with all our gear. They're all ready and packed. Everyone's getting ready as well. And you've got the two e-bikers here that cheat. Well, in my opinion, having an e-bike is cheating. Oh, the sun's actually out properly, well, even though it's quite cloudy behind me. On this side, it's actually warming me up quite nicely. Someone's even left their car window open. So this is the Penzance Harbour long stay car park. So basically you enter, take a ticket and basically pay an exit. So we're going to pay essentially tomorrow when we're back here again. Oh, waiting for these slow coaches. They're still packing their gear and double and triple checking that they've got everything. Because last time, I think one of them forgot bits of their tents and stuff like that. Are you all ready?
Sun's out, you know.
I know. Everything's so much better with the sun now.
Okay, you've got the gangster.
We're finally off. After so many technical issues, we're finally off.
It's a dead end. Oh, he's it's a dead end as well. Yeah, bloody bag. Thank you. Your bag of shit.
Yallah.
So it is a dead end. It's only complaining in the morning.
Oh, some of this scenery is actually very beautiful. I literally don't mind cycling endlessly if the scenery is like this and if it's flat ground like this. So a little FYI, this is Penzance Station, or this railway leads to Penzance Station, and basically it's the end of the line for the cross-country train, I believe. But most of, I think, at least from Birmingham, there is a train that comes down here. In fact, here's one that's coming. Actually, no, this is a different line, but essentially I'm sure I've seen a train from Birmingham that comes all the way to Penzance. I mean, it is a bit of a long journey, but if you just want to get on a single train and come all the way down here, it is possible. That there is St Michael's Mount, and we're going to see if we can cross it. I think hopefully they allow us to. It's actually a nice place. Yeah, right, a bit of a play area here. There's a long stay car park just over there, and behind me obviously is St Michael's Mount. And I don't know if you can see, but there's actually people crossing right now, and so that's what we're going to attempt to do on our bikes. Well, not technically, no. I just wanted to ride across and back.
That's no problem. You'll find, yeah, once you get to the other side, you just turn around, yeah. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Hi, you pre-booked.
The crossing to St Michael's Mount was currently walkable, but does actually go underwater when the tide comes in. If you do want to cross, pay attention to the tide times, as crossing is closed when the tide is high. Also, if you're taking your bike across, just be careful of others crossing as well as vehicles crossing.
So we just cycled across St Michael's Causeway, and it basically takes you to St Michael's Mount, and there is actually a ticket charge to go onto the island itself. So I think there's some it's like a museum or something, but it's free to actually walk across this part up to the gate here where they check your tickets, and basically if you've got a ticket you can proceed further, otherwise like me, let's head back. That was actually fun. A bit of off-roading on some like cobblestones and stuff, but yeah, that was good. So we've left St Michael's Mount and on our way to St Ives actually. And we've arrived into busy St Ives, gridlocked St Ives I should say. We are here in sunny St Ives, surprisingly sunny St Ives. Sun's out, blue skies out, and we're gonna have some fish and chips. This is the only place that seems to do gluten-free fish and chips that fried separately to all other meat products. So if you want essentially halal certified fish and chips, that's the place to come. Nothing beats fish and chips by the seaside. Someone's waiting for food. One of the hazards of eating here. That's it, fish eaten, scenery enjoyed. Time to hit the road again. Look how blue that water is. Probably the most bluest water I've seen in the UK.
I don't know why it's famous for. Maybe that rock looks like a head.
Might be. It's called Man's Head. Look at that blue water, man.
That rock kind of does look like a head.
Don't worry, if you die, I'll take your e-bike.
That's the only time you're going to bloody ride it.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
No, you just take one step at a time. That's it. You'll be fine. It's like, and once you're down here, I mean, even if you fell from there to there,
Nothing will happen to you.
yeah, it's not like you're gonna.
The way you hero me that to be as I'm looking going in a death trap. It's funny.
Yeah, go there and then just hop in there. Those are probably thinking I'm going to kill you, and I think because the tide's coming in as well. Just sit from there, it'll eventually come to your feet. There's nothing like dipping your feet in crystal clear waters. Alright, enough of beautiful scenery. Need to hit the road now. How much would a house like this cost then? Because it's got sea view.
Normal house with TV.
In fact, all of these houses have sea view. Look at this hill. It's one crazy hill, which I'm not ashamed to say I have to push. Award-winning ice cream apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, is that this? Oh, right. How does this work?
Wrong people ask them don't, because if you get it wrong they implode.
Oh,
What
okay.
flavour did you want?
Oh, what flavour do you have?
I've got vanilla chocolate, I've got strawberry sorbet, mango sorbet.
I'll stick to vanilla, the
Vanilla.
good old tried and trusted. Right.
Yeah, and it's proper with gelato ice cream.
That's cool, isn't it?
It's one of those Amazon fans. Stops all the flies getting into my eyes. Very useful.
I wear sunglasses, but that's
We are saying goodbye to beautiful St Ives. There's a sign over there. And we are heading towards Land's End, which is about 17-18 miles that way. So yeah, it's getting a bit windy as well now.
Even though we had many downhills, they were nearly always followed by brutal uphills which caused issues for our e-bikers.
Don't fucking mention it then anyway. He's stressing us about it.
He's stressing about his battery, Eddie.
Well, forget the battery. Who's stressing on it? Oh, look, Ash, I put in the eco plus all the way now. Fuck that, you're automatic about it.
Alright, show us the way then. This is the first rain of the day. Hopefully it passes. Oh, the rain's stopped and the sun is almost back out. A few more miles. Hey guys, look at the scenery there. Doesn't that look amazing?
Chill out, bro. You should Why are you so stressful? Look, I'm not even having e-bike.
How come we're so stressed?
His battery's gonna run out again.
You know
His
what?
battery's gonna run out again.
Because he keeps going 10 miles a year.
I never said 10
miles. I
said 7 miles to the campsite now.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's cool. It's an old tin mine that's turned into a museum. Oh, that is awesome, man.
Well, there's Land's End.
That's not Land's End, you joker.
Looks like it's White Tower.
No, Land's End's outside.
That one.
So they've got a bit of a, not bit, but a huge tin mine here that's been long abandoned. So they've turned it into a museum and a place to explore, and even a walking path. It looks like they've kept a lot of the old bits, of the old buildings and so on. You see, they no longer function. There's probably no more tin left here, but it's nice that they've kept it for people to explore and see how it used to be. So I think the main tour needs pre-booking and probably paying for, but it does take you down to some of these buildings and probably actually further deep into that cavern over there where they've probably dug tin out from. There's a lot of historical sites here. If you have the time and weather is good, you can explore some of these on foot. Yeah. The good thing about this was that it was one of the few parts of the entire route that actually went along the coast, giving you amazing views as you cycled. Another hill. Hopefully the last one, because the e-bikers are running out of battery. And I'm so happy. And they're arguing about mileage and that's why you should stick to e-bikes. I mean, not e-bikes, manual bikes. When did Land's End get its own airport? I wonder where the hell they fly to. So I think our plan was to go to Land's End today, but even though there's blue skies here, there's grey skies over there, and yeah, we were hoping to watch the sunset, but not with these clouds. So we're gonna hit Land's End tomorrow morning. Hopefully there's better weather. If there isn't and it's the same, then we've lost nothing. So yeah, let's head to the campsite and get a good night's rest. And we are here. Farm campsite. What a journey, and it continues tomorrow. They are all set up. Look at these guys struggling. Looks like everyone's gone home, gone inside the tents. So it's morning now at the campsite, and it's slightly grey and slightly drizzly. No better than yesterday, to be honest, but onwards and upwards. So we need to head off to Land's End this morning and then continue the route round to Penzance. Let's see how that goes, and hopefully the weather improves. This campsite, by the way, it's an actual farm, a working farm, not just like a pretend farm. So yeah, it's quite good. They've got livestock here. We do actually have sea views, but it's all grey, so it just looks like more cloud. But that is the actual sea over there in the background. Back on the road once again, off to Land's End. Look at these e-bikers. Well, 2 out of 3 are e-bikers back there. Scum. Looks like before we go to Land's End, we're taking a detour to St Cove, which is down this way. Wow, what a downhill this. So this is St Cove. We've got loads of surfers out here. It's actually a very nice beach. Shame about the weather. It's a horrible, typical grey British day. So that was St Cove. We just went down aimlessly and climbed back up. Not worth it, that downhill. Now I have to do more uphills. We are here. This is Land's End. Didn't realise Land's End would be like a tourist attraction like this, with, like, you know, games and shops and visitors and that. I literally thought it's going to be like a landmark place. There's like a post to mark that it's the end of the, you know, the British Isles. This is cool. It's a model village. It's quite cool actually. So they've got a play kind of area here next to the model village. And let's go and check out the actual visitor part. Let's see what they've got here. There's a visitor centre, shopping, all your souvenirs and so on. Well, they've got a cafe here. There's a lot of shops and so on here, to be honest. I guess they're trying to make as much money as possible.
There is some history behind this particular area known as Land's End. The main signpost marking Land's End is this. However, it's been turned into a money-grabbing attraction. You need to pay to take a picture next to the signpost, which is absolutely ridiculous.
But yeah, we've made it, and we're at Land's End. What a journey. But we've still got more to go. We've still got to get back to Penzance. Nice, miserable, grey day like today. Alright, we're out of here, out of Land's End, and onwards.
The ride back to Penzance was actually quicker than anticipated. As most of the route was via A roads, it was easy enough to navigate with few turns. And like the previous day, there were some good downhills on the way to Penzance, meaning we covered some distance relatively quickly.
As fun as these downhills are, it's so tiring that they're almost not worth it. I'd rather stay on level ground and just cycle along. But yeah, sometimes you don't know what the road holds over the hill, and often there's a huge downhill followed by a huge uphill. Head towards the coast. Head towards the seaside, because then we'll ride along the coast, no hills. So we finally made it back to Penzance. Oh, the smell of the sea air, lovely. I do actually like the smell of a few things. I like the smell of, really: petrol and sea air. I'm sure there's others, but those are the two things that come to mind right now. So we are done with this journey. So we went all the way around. It was quite a long journey actually. We did a total of 60 odd miles. To be honest, I wasn't that wowed by Land's End. I don't know why, but I think because they've changed it into like a tourist trap, I would call it. It's kind of lost the sparkle of it, but obviously it's one of those things where you've got to go there to tick it off your list to say that you've been, and I've been, and I don't think I would come back there again, to be honest. And plus, this particular cycle route, I thought we'd be cycling more on the cliff sides or the edge of the coast, but most of it seemed to be more inland, and there weren't really any cycle routes along the actual coast. So yeah, it's a bit of a letdown in that sense, but it's good overall. I'm glad I went to Land's End to say that I've been, and yeah, if you do come again, follow a similar route and you won't go wrong.
If you have any questions about the route or campsites, leave it in the comments below. You'll also find links to the route and campsites below. Thanks for watching.